Styles, Ryan, Harry, Prussian, and otherwise are the things that taunt your Frisian in these virulent times. A feeble warrior of ancient times you may be, but a hero of modern cinema we shall see. A god of good gracious reckonings, you find yourself in the middle of a now daily week-long bender. Your brain is covered in a layer of offensive smug smog, and yesterday you nearly had your own Roxanne Twitter moment. Get it together, fucko. Time is running crowd, and by time I mean drugs. How can you live off of a Willy Wonka-esque amount of nose candy if the green sickly cash stream running through your apartment literally dries up? Newsflash, dick smell, you can't. So blurry teeth in sight and crashed McLaren in drive. You speed racer to the worst Hollywood studio you can find, hoping, praying, they give you a job. You bust through the doors, violently asking for a, quote, goddamn gelato-esque coward to get you a meeting. And in 2 hours snatch, you're in the boardroom, you're spieling, you're spiraling, but most importantly, you're delivering your critical pitch.
So good.
Thoughts, review, thoughts.
So good.
Thank you.
So good.
What was your favorite part?
It all blurs together at this point. I
mean, every single one of them.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
Yeah,
they're very similar in tone, but I'm trying to make them more with each one, or at least like a lateral move. I never want to regress in how.
I don't know. After that
horrible.
cult one,
that one was really good, but that's like a vision of the future. You know, that's like what's to come. You know, like 50 episodes down the line. That's like the 2024 sequel. You know, the 1984 sequel. It's like a vision of a really dark future.
Yeah,
which is again only 4 years away. So be careful. Kane and I are luckily together again in person. Don't worry, we haven't been social distancing. Kane and I haven't been wearing masks since the beginning of the pandemic. We've been going out to restaurants, getting haircuts, protesting Governor Whitmer's thing. We're part of the Wolverine Packer, you know. And so we've been taking our due precautions, licking doorknobs, gates, buns, all things considered.
That's the thing. It's like I keep licking these doorknobs, but they're all made of brass.
Yeah, they're copper, so they just fucking
they're already
melt
sanitized.
The germs. Yeah, good. If you didn't know that, some hospitals actually use copper on their bed railing and stuff.
It's brass.
Because it's very brass.
Brass.
I thought it was copper that was the disinfectant one.
No, it's brass.
Are you sure?
Yeah, look it up.
You look it up.
Okay.
All right. Kane's looking it up right now. He's exiting his notes. He has his very long pitch today in his notes, but he's exiting to look up this fact about
Is brass self-sanitizing. It's called the oligodynamic effect, and it's the result of metal ions in brass and copper.
Oh, hey! All right, cool. We were both right. I was like, I could swear copper was that. Okay, cool. Yeah, so, all right. It's the best of both worlds. It's the enlightened centrist approach where you both can be right.
Grilling it up.
Grilling it up, baby. Grilling it up. This is, by the way, a very centrist podcast. So if you're looking for strong political opinions, you won't get them here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I think everything is too PC. And I've been slowly drifting further right because of my apathy towards politics.
Yeah.
But I'm a centrist. You know, I'm strong centrist. That's when you think Nazis and people who are against Nazis are equally as bad. Right?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. And that's what this
yes.
podcast is. So it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be great. So Kane and I are lucky enough to be in person again this week, which is always fun. It's always energetic and lively and downright sexual, I would even say. And not because either Kane and I are being sexual about it. There's just something, you know, in the air. It's like our recorders and our microphones become charged with an overt sexual energy. And I downright don't like it. I would kind of prefer if it wasn't here, but it's okay. So, Kane, you want to describe what this podcast is to the lovely folks at home?
Don't read my notes.
I'm not.
Essentially,
this
podcast
thing about being together is sometimes inadvertently read each other's notes.
One of us is a crazy, zany, silly,
centrist
producer.
Okay.
And they say, Listen here, fucko.
Yeah.
The
Much like the
kids-
opening.
The kids, they love Fortnite.
Uh-huh.
Give me a Fortnite movie. And then the other person, the writer, they have to go, ooh, I have to actually work here. And while he
Yeah.
makes all the money.
It's perfect. That's exactly how it should be.
And he writes in detail the Fortnite movie.
The Fortnite movie. He actually comes up with the artistic part, which is writing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the good thing. And we don't sleep on any concept here, okay? No matter how gratuitous it may be, no matter how much it may seem like a clickbait thumbnail or something in audio form, we'll do an Among Us movie, we'll do a furry movie, we'll do a freaking Fortnite movie. We don't care. We'll do any of them, and we'll do it with grace and style and substance to the point where the people behind the video games will steal it, and they will not give us credit. And it'll be epic. And then we'll sue them, and it'll be really epic. So, Kane, why don't we get things rolling?
All right. Are you sitting down?
Oh, I'm sitting.
How would you describe this room?
Ooh, I don't know. There's green fairy wings all over the place. I see like a green mini dress that's like the bottom is like ragged.
Yeah.
There's tons of white powder in Ziploc bags that you have labeled pixie dust that smells like cocaine and tastes like cocaine.
Okay. It's a Tinkerbell room. It's a Tinkerbell room.
I know. Well, I'm just saying.
Welcome
I don't think
into
this
my
is legal.
Tinkerbell room.
Yeah, it's great. It's very well furnished, very damp. Everything's covered in a nice layer of what I can only describe as oil.
I need you to take a deep breath for me. Exhale.
Oh, fuck.
Adam Sandler is back
When did he ever leave?
in his breakout role, bankrolling off the cash he made off
Breakout role.
Hubie's Halloween.
Oh, God, I can only imagine how
And
much
now
cash.
he's teaming up with the greatest mind of this generation, Robert Eggers, in this zany family fun film, The Lighthouse 2. Watch in awe as Adam Sandler is stranded on this nightmare island, isolated from the world, left to his thoughts in this wacky one-man show. Shoot.
All right, so crash open.
I love it.
We see so much green. It is one by one. It is very high contrast.
Oh, yeah.
It is emulating orthographic film via a series of a couple of filters that they put on the end of the lens. But orthographic film is very expensive to shoot on when you're shooting 35 for a whole movie. So they emulate it pretty well.
Yeah.
So in this black image that we're currently seeing, just full of grain, you can tell that if it was someone's skin tone, it would really show their wrinkles and cracks and be very contrasty. We can't tell, we can't see skin in this frame because again, we smash cut to black. But you think about it and you go, oh yeah, that would make skin tones look real interesting. So speaking of skin tones, we crash open out of the black screen that we crashed opened into. We see a boat. On the side of the boat, it says Maiden 2. And we do, there's very little movement to the camera. It's all very locked off on this boat. We see crashing waves coming up over the side. It's so violent and virulent and aggressive and sexual. And we see all these waves crashing up over the sides. We see seaweed crashing up over the sides. And we hear in the distance, under the fervor of the waves and the boat steaming back and forth and cracking. We hear the boat groaning with trying not to drown. And we hear in the background, "Shoobity-hoo! Whoa! Gah!" And we see Adam Sandler. We see Adam Sandler.
Whoa!
We see him. He's struggling to capture the boat. He's spinning He's spinning the pirate reel on the boat back and forth wildly, like it's not even connected to anything. And we see he has an eye patch and a fake pirate beard, and his head is shaved. And we see him. He's spinning the pirate reel back and forth. He goes, whoa, 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 And then suddenly the pirate wheel goes bonk and it falls off and it spins into the ocean below. And he looks over, he goes, and he just looks into the sea for a minute, a full minute. And he goes, shooby dooby doo. And so he eventually crashes straight into the island from the lighthouse.
Oh my God.
We see the lighthouse. It's dilapidated. It's downright destroyed. And he gets there and he arrives falling off of the boat into the water onto a seagull immediately. He lands on the seagull. The seagull starts pecking the shit out of him. And, whoa, whoa, whoa! And it pecks him right in the jugular. It pulls away a lot of meat. And so for the rest of the movie, Adam Sandler sounds like Adam Sandler if he had smoked 15 packs of cigarettes for the past 20 years. So Kane, could you give us like what that would probably sound like? You do a very good. Yeah, that sounds about right. So he's super strained for the rest of me. He goes,
this lighthouse.
He goes, oh, this is the lighthouse. So he gets out. He's holding his throat in, and he's struggling with his eye patch and his beard. He's trying to make it to the lighthouse, and the ship starts slowly sinking behind him. He doesn't notice. It's very comedic. It's very in one.
He goes, wow.
Yeah. We hear instead of the, like in the original movie where you'd hear that kind of like siren. Yeah. Which is amazing. We hear like a like every once in a while. And it's very good. So we see Adam Sandler already so injured and struggling, crawling to the lighthouse, attempting to live. The boat is slowly sinking behind him. Again, we're locked off. There is no pan. There is no tilt. It is one by one. It is so square. And we see him crawling in. He's covered in dirt and grime already. He's soaking wet. He's bleeding black sludge out of his hand because of how contrasty it is. And he manages to make it through the gaping open door of the lighthouse, which has been presumably open since the events of the first movie.
Yes.
It is completely destroyed. It's flooded to the point of ridiculousness. There's an axe through the fucking table. There's blood everywhere. It smells like piss and farts and goddamn farts. That's what it smells like. And Adam Sandler manages to struggle to his feet. He sits in a chair and he goes, "Oh, I've got a lot of work to do." You know, because he had his throat pecked out, so he's in a lot of pain there.
It smells like farts in here.
So he's like holding his nose closed. He's holding his throat closed. His eye patch is coming off slightly, trying to adjust everything and not die. So he manages to get to the kitchen counter. He gets some gauze and he wraps it around his throat, staples it in place. It's bleeding through really already. And he goes, "We're gonna find the logbook." And so he gets thoughts on my Adam Sandler impression?
It's gonna need subtitles like Hubie's Halloween.
It needs subtitles like the first Lighthouse movie. So he's, again, if you didn't catch that, which would be reasonable, he said he needs to find the logbook. So
I love it.
he starts stumbling around. He's looking for the logbook. He sees a bunch of pots with piss in them. He sees empty bottles of booze everywhere. And he picks up one. He pours it on his neck wound. It hurts real bad. He's like, and, so he's in a little bit of pain. So he starts stumbling around. He's looking for the logbook. And he can't find it. It's, and we cut to an insert of the logbook. We cut to the inside of the lighthouse. The top floor, right before you enter the lighthouse portion of the lighthouse, like right before you get into the chamber with the bulb, is flooded. And we see the logbook is floating in there. So the entire internals of the lighthouse is flooded all the way up to the top. Like if you filled a grain silo with just water all the way up there. And so we see Adam Sandler stumble out of the house again. You know, he's managed to kind of get his neck wound like closed up by filling it with booze and garbage, I guess.
Dirt.
He packs it full of dirt and then staples it more. And so he manages to get out of there and he goes, I'm on the case. And he's on the case. He's up. And so he starts, stumbling. He falls a bunch. He slips and slides all the way. Bam. Yeah. But we use the sound effects like what they would have used in the first Lighthouse movie. So people take it seriously and it wins an Oscar for cinematography. So we slip and slide Adam Sandler all the way to the lighthouse itself. He gets there and he goes, something feels off about us. And he staples his throat closed again. He goes, there's something feels off about this place.
Oh my God.
And so he cracks open the door a little bit to like try and get a view. And he like is about to peek his eye inside. He like puts his eye up to the thing. He goes, huh? He sees fish swimming around in there. He goes, what? And he backs away from the door. Door comes flying open. Hundreds of thousands of gallons of water just blast him back into the ocean. And he goes, whoa! We see him like fly away, kind of like a cartoon character, like when someone like they get filled with air and like someone pops them and they yeah. So he basically does that and he lands in the ocean again next to the rocks, presumably like dying. And the lighthouse just continuously pours water for like a full hour of screen time. And then it starts slowly like dribbling out. And we see Adam Sandler climb back in onto shore. He spits out a fish that was in his mouth. And he starts climbing. He goes, I hope there's lobster here somewhere. I'm going to try and catch some later. But first I gotta find that logbook. And so he starts climbing the stairs of the lighthouse now. It's all sopping wet. He gets to the top floor. He sees the logbook floating and the little bit of water that's left. He goes to reach for it and he slips on a patch of oil, knocks his nose bridge against the top stair. The cartilage peels back over his eyes. And he slams his head into every single step, face first, on the way down, spiraling all the way to the first floor of the lighthouse.
So zany. So wacky.
So zany. And he gets to the bottom. It's super zany and like comical, but then he gets to the bottom and it becomes very serious because we take it really seriously. So he gets to the bottom and we just slowly zoom out on Adam Sandler just
mangled,
crying in real life, choking on blood. It's just black bile spraying out of his nose. And he is not doing well. We really linger on this for like an uncomfortable amount of time. Adam Sandler crying, tearfully, sobbing, really, and blood just drenched out of his nose. And he starts shaking and like he's cold. And you can tell he's cold in real life too. Like they didn't help him.
God.
And like halfway through, there's so much blood in his like brain and mouth, he starts having a seizure. And it's like really, he hemorrhages. And it's like the best. I mean, it's Adam Sandler does it so tastefully and well. And it goes on for too long though. Like a scary amount of time where you actually start to wonder if they just let the cameras roll while Adam Sandler was having an actual seizure. And then after that's all done for, it cuts to a shot of the door of the lighthouse comes flinging open and goes, and he's got lobsters.
Nailed it.
It's zany. And so we see Adam Sandler, he's cooking up lobsters. The house is still flooded, the like main house area. So he tries to drain it while he's cooking lobsters. He pulls a big plug from the like bottom of the house, like a drain, like in a bathtub, and it starts bye bye, and it starts draining very well. Everything's going good for him, and then we see after he's got his lobster, he's he's like sucking out all the lobster stuff, and he's like looking into the ocean, to try and gauge what the weather's going to be like and see. And then he realizes, he goes, my boat! My boat is gone! And he eats some more lobster. And he's like, but the next boat. And he nails his throat shut.
He puts a railroad spike in
through his throat. And he goes, but the next boat isn't supposed to be here for 5 months. You read my mind. And so Adam Sandler now goes back inside. He finishes the lobster, and a storm rolls in suddenly, and it goes from like the gray overcast to dreary night, storm, horrible. Everything is fucked, and there's water pouring in everywhere. It was already flooded earlier, and he pulled out the drainage thing, but it's not keeping up now. It's open and it's not keeping up. So it should be draining, and this is not working at all.
It's not even swirling or anything. It looks like it's clogged, but it's not.
It's just clogged with so much water that it's all the way up to the second thing. He hasn't even visited the second floor yet, and he has to like run over these stairs that are dilapidated to get up there just so he doesn't drown on the first floor, even though the doors are open. All of the doors of the house are open, and he's still at risk of drowning. That's how much of the storm is going on right now. So he goes up to the second floor. He goes, oh, there's 2 beds up here. Wonder what happened last year. And he starts puking blood because he's been railroad spiking his throat closed. And so he's puking blood. He's not doing well. He starts slamming into the walls and stuff, looking for something to clog his neck with again. And he accidentally opens the logbook journal thing. And he's like, oh, that's a good place for that. And he sets it down. He sets down his logbook. He sets it again. And then he's still crashing into stuff. Waves are crashing into the house. It's almost knocking it off the foundation. The house is like shaking back and forth. Like, have you ever, how like when people try and flip a car?
Yeah.
Like if in theory you were to go to like a protest, and then the police started tear gassing everyone and shooting them with rubber bullets and aiming tear gas canisters at their head, and some maybe even firing real guns.
Yeah.
And so reasonably your response would be to like tip a police cruiser or something.
Yeah.
It's like if you've ever like tried to do that, where you it slowly gains momentum because people are doing it. So the house is like doing that same thing that a police cruiser would do if you tried to flip it.
Yeah.
Where it's going back and forth, and you're using the energy from it to like get it to go further and further. The house is doing the same thing. Adam Sandler's knocking like back and forth between walls like a fucking pinball, and you go, whoa, go. Yeah. So and then at the very end, he fucking flips and out over one of the beds and crashes out of the window, and whoosh, we hear him get sucked away, and he goes, woo, into the night. Bye. And the next day, we like fade into the next day, and we see Adam Sandler is trapped in a fishing net on the rocks of the beach. And he's covered in seaweed. He's covered in fish.
He starts hemorrhaging again.
It's really sad and violent, and unnerving. And then he manages to wake up, and he cuts himself out. He sees a mermaid. He goes, holy shit. So he fucks the mermaid. It's graphic. We show it. We show everything. We show Adam Sandler's thick, veiny cock. We show the mermaid's whap. And it goes on for like 20 to 30 minutes maybe. And then Adam Sandler finishes really hard. He finishes really violently. Like
he pulls out and finishes.
Yeah, he pulls out and finishes on her mermaid tummy, I guess. I don't know. And so after he
hyper up close.
Yeah, it's way too in depth. It's like microscopic level of like you can see the individual sperms. And then after he does that, he goes, well, I must be mentally okay. And he starts walking back to the lighthouse.
I love it.
Things are good. We see a dense layer of smog covering everything now. and we see 1,000 duplicates of Adam Sandler running around on the lighthouse area. And he goes, "This is fine. This is fine. This is fine." And so he starts walking. Everything's fine. They're trying to kill him. So he starts fighting back. He grabs his hatchet. He starts lopping their heads off one by 10, by 15, by 100. By the end of the day, he's gone through probably 900 Adam Sandlers. And he sits down, he takes a break, he pops open a frickin' ration, and he chugs that shit. And he goes, "Oh, man, this was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be." And then he looks out and he sees all of the Adam Sandler bodies are gone. And he goes, "There must not be anything wrong with this. This is fine. I'm going to go to the lighthouse room in the lighthouse part with the light bulb." And so he zanily makes his way up the stairs. We basically just reverse the footage of him falling down. So he's and he lands up at the top and goes, what was that? And he's doing really well, basically. And
mentally,
he looks out, he sees an army of fish and lobsters encroaching on the island, and he goes, "Oh, I better warn the people in the towns with the light bulb." And so he opens up the hatch. He climbs in. He goes, "Oh, it's hot up here." Oh. So he pops off his shirt. He pops off his shirt. He pops off all his clothes. He's nude. He's sweating profusely. His eye patch is leaking some kind of thick substance with viscera in it. And his neck hole is just absolutely gushing bile. And he's... And he looks into the light and he goes, "Oh, this is... Oh, oh." And he looks over and he sees Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. And then he goes, "Well, when did you guys get here?" And they go, "We've always been here. We will always be here. You are we. We are." And then they all start talking in unison and they go, "The lighthouse, the lighthouse. Oh, shooby-dooby-doo." And then he crams his hand into the light bulb and goes, and he gets electrocuted like an old cartoon. His hair like springs up.
you can see his skeleton flashing under his skin.
And he goes, and it does that for like 10 or 20 minutes or so. And then he goes, "Oh, conk," and he falls on the ground, and then black. That's the end of the movie. Crash to black.
You're greenlit.
Okay, cool.
Such a zany, wacky one-man show. He didn't get an Oscar for Uncut Gems, but he will get an Oscar for this.
I hope so. I think he deserves an Oscar for Hubie Halloween, to be frank.
He deserves an Oscar just for hemorrhaging on film.
Yeah, twice, actually. One time is an accident. Twice you're doing it deliberately. You made yourself do that. Like, how do you control that ability? But, I think that style, the Adam Sandler style, really works very well in the Lighthouse universe.
It does.
Because there is actually a lot of slapstick comedy in the Lighthouse. Like a ton throughout the whole movie. And there's a lot of jokes and comedy. I think you just need Adam Sandler to really like expose that there's no difference in slapstick. Like it's all just Three Stooges. It's the same thing. Whether it's in Evil Dead, whether it's in the Lighthouse, whether it's in Hubie's Halloween, it's all identical. And it's in all of them. So it's great.
I love it.
Thank you for showing that to me. I appreciate it. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
All right, Kane, you want to take a really quick break, come back, and swap seats?
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Okay.
We're back.
And we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back. All right. Step into my elevator.
Is that your pitch?
There, I have all of my notes are in the same tablet. Okay. Don't worry about it. All right, writer. I'm the producer here. Okay. I don't want to hear guff from you, little boy. Now step into my elevator.
Okay.
Okay. I'm closing the doors. See how fast those closed?
It's fast, I guess.
Pretty cool too. Check this out. They lock too. Pretty neat, huh?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it. So, okay, I'm gonna pick a floor here. You look over. There's like 1,000 buttons on the thing. Picks the lowest one. You guys are on the top floor. He goes, "All right, So we should have probably the elevator starts dropping at a speed that is really
It's
implies
free fall.
that, yeah, it's in free fall. It implies the rope holding it up like shattered. And he starts laughing. Pitch me a movie. Actually, I'll tell you something. We want greenlit here. So why don't you, I'll give you a thing and then you pitch what the movie is. Okay. Deal?
Deal.
Okay, cool. All right. We got to be fast. Okay. So here it is. Your feet go through your eyes. Yeah, no. You're in free fall for a really long time and you notice it's getting hotter in the elevator. So, he turns to you. This mustachioed producer turns to you. He goes, "The donor! An epic tale of a man inventing the concept of a sperm donor in a society that doesn't want him. He'll change the views of the entire world just to make his sperm the number one choice. That's right. The entire earth will suddenly crave the seed of short, average IQ gingers with cleft earlobes, small dicks, heart problems, Crohn's, and premature ejaculation issues. Shoot."
Okay, so sperm donation is already a thing in this town, right?
He is like the guy that invents it.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's also like the last person that anyone would want to be a sperm donor.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
The elevator's getting hotter and hotter. Like
Star
90.
wipe to black.
Love it.
Zoom out.
It fits the tone so well.
Zoom out.
Mhm.
It reveals that black was in fact a leather boot.
Did I mention Clint Eastwood is directing?
Zoom out. It's a leather boot. Zoom
Yeah.
out more. It's a 60-year-old dominatrix. She says,
Classic.
"These damn kids." And she whips the
Yeah.
camera. It
It's
goes
so
to black.
good. So that's so Clint Eastwood, how much he hates youth. He just reviles it.
Alarm clocks. Blare.
Ah,
Our main character. He's got a buzz cut.
what's his name? What's his name?
His name is Craig.
Oh, yeah, it is. Of course.
And
That's
Craig-
the perfect name.
He looks at his alarm clock. He turns it off. He's
Yeah.
a ginger. He's buzz cut. He's wearing camo.
Cleft earlobes.
He's cleft earlobes. He's wearing camo. He's got some army boots.
Really pointy elbows.
Really pointy elbows. And he gets up. He's got World War II posters all over his room.
Yeah.
And he
See a
goes,
yardstick in the background indicating like what 7 feet would be. He's like 2 feet under that. So he's like below average height.
He goes, "Today's the day." And he looks at his clock that just, and he went, "Ah, shit, I'm late."
Puts on his wireframe glasses.
He's oily. He goes,
Doesn't
"I'm
wash his
late."
skin.
And so he jumps out of his room
Of course.
through the window.
Yeah.
He somersaults and he lands
Through the glass.
through the glass and he lands in his front yard. And he hops on his longboard
Of course.
and he hitch a ride on the back of a truck.
He's so cool. Such a cool guy.
He says, "I'm fucking late." And it's gone. It's the power of light. And he's
Yeah, of course.
flowing through, and he does that cool thing where he lets go of the truck to switch to another one,
Yeah.
and he gets run over.
Yeah, of course. Clint
And he
Eastwood
goes,
hates youth.
"Oh, oh, oh,
My
God.
back.
Oh, fuck.
It'll never be the same.
Oh,
It's permanent.
oh, fuck. It shows him he's in the ER. And then it cuts again. And he's now just walking. And
has a back
he goes,
brace.
I'm really late now. And he's walking.
It's the next day. He's so late.
And he goes into Inventor's Emporium.
They go, "Hey, you have a meeting?" He goes, "Yeah,
You know,
25
he-
hours ago."
Kicks in the damn door.
Of course.
And they go, "Security, Craig's here again."
Oh, classic Craig.
And he right on the desk and right where the
Jesus.
and it's a petri dish full of cum.
Of course.
And the secretary looks at it and goes, "What is this?"
Knowing full well what it is.
And he says, "Is Doc in today?" She goes, "You know he's in. He doesn't want to see you." He goes, And he taps on the petri dish. He goes, he's going to want to see this. She rolls her eyes and knows that she can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
She pages. She says, Doc Harris, it's Craig. And you hear a send him in.
You're the most audible groan.
And he
Most
picks up that
deliberate
petri
groan.
dish. He kicks in.
It's leaking.
Dr. Harris says, goddamn. Then he goes, you don't have to kick it in. Just knock. Just knock.
Or just, better yet, open the door.
And he closes the door behind him, and it shows on the wall. There's
Kicks it closed behind him.
like a hole from like all the times that he's kicked in the door where the doorknob hits the wall.
Kicks it closed, too.
And he goes, what is it today? Flying fuck. And he slams his petri dish down.
Oh, he really is like thinking he's on to the greatest invention of all time.
And he slams down the petri dish. And Doc Harris goes, is this cum?
Did you just put cum on my desk?
And he goes, hear me out. All right, picture this, Doc. All right. Your beautiful,
Doc pulls out a
angel-haired,
revolver.
loving wife. You guys want to make a baby. And he goes, we've made babies. We have 2 kids. He goes, now picture this. You try to make a baby, and she doesn't want your sperm.
It's such a bad way of pitching it.
And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, because maybe you're gay. He goes,
Such an accusation to make for no reason of like,
and he goes, you're losing me here, buddy. I was already not with you.
this is like the 40s also, so it's a strong allegation to...
And he goes, you know what? Forget all that. Watch and learn.
He goes, you're wearing army boots and an army jacket. World War II is happening right now. Shouldn't you be in that? He goes, no, they didn't want me. I flunked out of the medical portion really bad.
He just goes, watch. And he opens the petri dish. And he goes, can you not do that on my desk? And he pulls out a turkey baster.
It sucks so
it
much
all up.
air. It's very little cum.
Uh, and he pulls down his trousers.
He pulls out his own. Of course. Classic Craig.
And
He's always one for demonstration.
And he shoves the turkey baster in his rectum, and the doctor has gone, what the security. And he goes, no, wait, watch. The security comes in, they start dragging him out. He goes, no, wait, Dr. Harris, wait. I have to show you.
It's such a bad
And they throw him
demonstration. It's the worst
into the
possible
yard.
pitch you could give for artificial insemination or sperm donors and why they're important and good. It's such a bad way of displaying that.
And he's thrown out, and they
Puts his
toss
own
him.
cum in his own. What is that gonna do? What is that gonna prove?
He's gonna blow his fucking.
Gonna blow his load.
He could have just told him. But anyway, so
Fills his ass with mostly air.
and they toss the fucking petri dish at his head after they throw him out, and he's crying.
Luckily, no sperm gets on his face because he used all of it. There's so little in the petri dish.
He's crying,
Yeah.
and he gets back to his home, and he's knocking shit off the fucking tables. He's kicking
He's not a
shit
healthy
over.
guy.
And he goes, it's not finished. What do I need to do?
Yeah.
And he sets down his petri dish, and he comes in it.
That's his like Hail Mary of like he's no other options. So he's like, the only thing I know left to do is just come one more
And
time.
he's looking at it. And he goes, what do I need to... So he's trying to figure out what he can do. He goes into his freezer, he pulls out some ice cream, and he goes, and he looks at his ice cream, and then he looks at his freezer, and then he looks at the cum on the petri dish.
Oh, broken clock, dude. Broken.
And he goes, and he takes a petri dish. He pops it in the microwave. He pops that baby in for 6 minutes.
Pours ice cream on it.
He puts ice cream on it. He puts it in the microwave. He pops it in there.
Grabs a turkey baster.
He turns on the microwave for 6 minutes.
So long.
He pops it out.
It's gonna be cheese by the time you take it out. So coagulated and stuck to the like actual glass plate of the microwave. He didn't put it in a separate container. He just slunk and it slid out grotesquely onto the glass plate.
And he into the turkey baster. It's
Based the
hot.
solid.
It's really hot and it's cheesy.
Yeah, of course.
And he's about to shove it right up his rectum to see if it works.
This will make me butt prig.
And
This will make me
right before
empreg.
he does, ding dong. He goes, who is it? Ding dong,
He's so
ding dong.
scared.
And he goes, fuck, okay. And he
Agoraphobic.
he puts his trousers back on, and he opens the door, and he sees 2 women.
He's got his hot turkey baster at the ready.
He sees 2 women standing out there.
Leaking.
And he goes, I don't want any fucking cookies. And he goes, no, we're your new neighbors.
They're in their 30s.
We just moved in here.
Yeah.
We have cookies for you. I know you don't want them, but it's
You don't have to pay for them. We're not Girl Scouts.
yeah. We just moved in. And he goes, what do you mean you guys moved in? You guys roommates? And they're like, yeah, in a way. And he goes,
Oh my god.
okay, thanks. And he takes the cookies and he watches them and they hold hands and they go back into
Kicks his door shut and he goes, I have an idea. He takes the cookies, breaks them up, comes on them.
and he watches them hold hands and they go inside their thing. And he goes, what the fuck? Kids these days, he says.
Yeah, classic Clint Eastwood.
And so he goes up 9-9.
I like that when it's like a bad take about like the youth, he like starts doing a Clint Eastwood impression. It's these days.
And he goes, I can't today. I can't. And he goes up to his room and he drinks an entire fifth.
Oh my god.
And right before he throws up on the ground.
Yeah. I was expecting him to not like drink at all, you know? Like he's the kind of guy who's never even like not drink water.
No,
He only drinks Mountain Dew, but he doesn't drink, you know? Like that's kind of
he's shoe nice, this goddamn fucking.
Of course, the fifth. The
And
handle.
he goes, and he throws up all over the floor and he threw up all over his telescope. Anyway, shit. And he
So crazy how he's gonna arrive at whatever revelation he ends up at. Like
he's shaking off
so
the
many
telescope.
bad instincts,
And
you know?
the telescope. And he's looking back and forth and he pulls down his shades. And he starts spying.
Wipes off the puke.
And he starts spying on his new neighbors. And he goes,
It's such a fucking creep. Like great.
he's spying out his neighbors and he puts a petri dish right in front of himself. And he sees not them undressing,
Uh-huh.
but one of them is crying.
Oh my god.
He goes, what the fuck is she crying about? And he looks into the next room and there's like a crib.
Oh
He
my
goes,
god.
What's going on?
This is so sad.
She have a miscarriage or something? And he goes, I gotta find out.
It's so so intrusive. So not his business at all. His first assumption is like the saddest thing that can happen to someone. And he's like, I need to know. I need to fucking know.
he marches on over and on their door. And she opens up. She goes, oh, hey, neighbor. He goes, I saw you were crying over through my telescope. What's the matter?
Yeah.
You got a miscarriage or something? And they go, no, it's
so much worse than that.
so much worse than that. I can't even have a miscarriage.
I don't even have the luxury.
What do you mean? Your husband died or something? In the war?
They look over at each other like,
They go, no, me and Stacy we're not just roommates. What do you mean, y'all sisters or something? No, we're together. In the house?
It's such a common name for the 50s, Stacy.
No, it's like we're lovers. You love each other? Like cousins? You guys cousins? We like love each other like
So hard to explain, he's just not getting it.
I can't have a baby because we're together. He goes, "Oh, I don't really get that, but that fucking sucks. So you need a baby? What's the problem?" There's no sperm here in the relationship.
He goes, "Oh, I get it. Your husband lives somewhere else. He's all dried up."
It's all dried up. I see. Well, that sucks. Can you keep it down when you're crying, please? Like I'm doing a lot of inventing over here, so
I gotta
please
get back to
shut
my
up.
microwave.
And he goes and to his house again.
Mm-hmm.
And the fifth kicks in and he passes out.
It's still in his system
Yeah.
after he puked for like 10 minutes. He needs to go to the
It went-
hospital if he still has anything left in his
Went
body.
to his blood.
He needs to get his stomach pumped, is what he eat some activated charcoal.
And it's the next day. His gosh darn alarm clock goes up and he goes, "Today's the day!"
Every day is like this for him.
And he hops onto his longboard. It's the power of love. And he goes to Inventor's Emporium.
He clips his nose on the fucking truck this time. His cartilage goes back over his head like a piece of bubble gum being stretched over a tailpipe.
He walks in and he has some weird like clay sculpture. It's got like pipe cleaners in it and
Yeah.
shit. And he puts on a
Slams
thing.
it down, breaking one of them.
And she goes, "No, not today, Craig. Doc Harris has some guests today." He goes, What the fuck do you mean?"
So
And he goes, "I'm gonna find out what's going on." And they go, "No, security. He's go." And he kicks open Dr. Harris's door
never
again.
once been satisfied with like someone else having business that isn't his in his whole life. Ever. He always has to know what's going on so he can ruin it. With this weird sculptures and cum. Like classic Craig.
And he kicks in the door and he jumps. He goes, "God, not now, Craig. Who let you in here?" And he goes,
I kicked
"No,
open
you
the
see,
door."
I got this cool suit. What's Stacy and Becky doing here?" And he goes, "It's none of your business."
The hell it isn't.
And Stacy goes, No, it's okay. Remember what we talked about earlier, Craig? Your husband's dead? No, the other thing. You got your sisters? No, the other thing.
Oh, he's dried up. His pipes are all
Your
dried
pipes
up.
all, you can't have kids. Yes, that. I thought I could come to Dr. Harris and Inventors Emporium and see if they can invent a baby for us. He goes, "That's fucking weird. Why would you want that?"
Stupid. Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. What would you guys do with the baby? Why would two sisters raise a baby to? And they're just like, with Dr. Harris. And he goes, "Sorry, ladies. I'd love to help, but I just don't. We can't invent a baby out of." And he goes, and he looks over at Craig. And he
Craig's
says,
like drooling. He's looking at it like a fly on the wall. He's so not paying attention at all.
and he says, "Craig,
What?
do you still have that turkey baster you brought in yesterday?" And he goes, "What? My what?"
What are you talking about? I didn't come here yesterday. You go, yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
You came in here to do some kind of weird demonstration. You go, no, I didn't. What are you talking about? I haven't been in here ever once in my life.
And
This is the first time we've met, Dr. Harris.
he goes to fucking.
God damn it, Craig. You really don't remember that. Less than 24 hours ago.
It all blurs together for this guy. And he goes, "Here, just," and they lock him in a room with a petri dish.
Yeah, they know what's going to happen. He'll make it work.
20 minutes later, then they hear him crying.
Mhm.
And they go, "He must be done."
The elevator's really heating up now. This has got to...
And he opens up the thing. And it's got a little teaspoon of cum in their little, the little
dribble.
petri dish.
The dribble. You can tell it was hanging off the end, but he had to like.
And
scrape it
Dr.
in.
Harris, he tastes his turkey baster,
Mhm.
and he goes, "Craig might be crazy, but I think he really was onto something yesterday. And I think I know how he can help you."
Uh-huh.
Dr. Harris pulls down his trousers.
Oh my god. If I can do this, I will be able to carry a baby for you.
Stacy goes, "Wait, maybe that's not how it works." He goes, "What do you mean?"
It's the 50s and no one knows how making babies work. Even a doctor.
And she goes, "Maybe I have to put it in my rectum." She pulls down her trousers.
Doesn't make sense, but it's worth a shot.
She pulls down her trousers. And she misses.
Of course.
And she squeezes it.
Yep.
And
Where does it land?
in her uterus,
Hell yeah.
through her cervix.
Straight through. She missed really bad. It like went through the wall of her stomach. Like in it.
And
Ah!
she pulls it out.
Gotta go to
And
the
they look
hospital.
at each other. They said, "Well, this was dumb. There's no fucking baby.
Didn't work at all.
It didn't work at all."
He goes, "Now let me try the original thing real quick." He shoves the fucking turkey baster in his ass again.
And Craig hung himself in the other room.
Not well though. Not well enough to work.
They heard commotion and they go, "What was that?" And they go, and Craig's on the floor. He's got like a belt and he go, "What? Get out of here! Get out of here!" There's a knocked over stool,
Oh,
a
get out.
broken pipe on the ceiling. You just try to hang yourself?
His nose is pulled up over the
He goes, "No, I'm inventing something here.
inventing something.
I'm leaving." So he goes home. A few weeks later,
So oily.
and she's got quite a bump. And she says, "Dr. Harris." And he goes, "I'm just a doctor for inventors. You don't have to."
An inventor doctor.
She goes, "I think it worked. I'm pregnant." And he goes, "Holy shit. It worked when I put the turkey baster in." And he goes, "No, it worked when I put the turkey baster
It works tonight.
in me." He goes, "Holy shit. We got to make a business off of this.
Yeah.
This can make us some money."
I can't wait for the stunning conclusion.
And so it goes 1 year later.
Sparks are shooting out of the elevator.
1 year later. The alarm goes off. Craig wakes up and he goes, "Time to go to work."
Today's the day.
And he hops onto his longboard. "It's the power of come." And he goes he goes to the event. And now it's called Come Emporium. And he
Such
walks
a good
in.
name. Perfect name.
He walks
You couldn't
in.
think of a better name for the 50s to
And
have
the
that.
lobbyist girl receptionist is just like, "Craig." And he walks
She
right
has a
through.
big baby bump.
And he kicks in his
They put a little
office.
one of those little puck things on the back of the door so it doesn't break the wall more.
Yeah. And he goes, "Well, time to get to work." It zooms out. It's a whole warehouse of empty petri dishes. And he goes, "Zip," cut to black. Was it good?
You're fucking greenlit. It's so good. It's perfect. It perfectly captured the energy I was hoping, where it was like the guy that came up with the idea of sperm donors, you know, where everyone's just like, "The fuck is wrong with you?" Like that, you know what I mean? Because like if you think about like the first person to be like, "This is a good idea," like,
Yeah.
you know, and everyone just looks at him like a weirdo, and it's even better because you took it a step further, where like he barely even like he didn't really even come up with that idea at all. He didn't figure it out. It was like they figured it out by sheer accident because everyone in there is a dumbass. So it's like it's even worse. Like where his idea wasn't even the one that ended up being right. His idea was totally baseless, turkey baseless. Incredible.
Yeah.
You're so greenlit. And now, if you'll excuse me, there's fire coming up through the bottom of the elevator. I'm gonna, boom, and then it just comes to a sudden halt. Okay, well, I think this is our floor. He opens the door.
It's the Earth's core.
It's the Earth's core. He walks in, elevator door shut. It starts skyrocketing back to the tippy top. You're greenlit. He gave you like a $12 bill. Like, not even real money. You can't redeem it anywhere. He didn't pay you for your work. He's gonna greenlight it though. You walk out, there's already billboards for it.
What is that movie called?
The Donor.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Donor.
The Donor. That's good.
Thank
I
you.
love that. I would watch that.
I would watch that because it sounds insane. And sounds like a movie where you would pay to make it, and then the only reason it would make its money back is because so many people saw it because it was insane. They'd be like, "There's no way," and then they'd go and see it and be like, "There was a way. They really did that," and they show it. They show it all.
My favorite thing is when he first comes in and tells Dr. Harris, like, what if you can't have a baby because you're gay?
And then he shoves a turkey baster in his own ass. Thinking that that's somehow going to solve thing. His own cum, too. It's not like... So it's the idea that if you put your own sperm in your butt, you'll have a baby, I guess. So it's the idea, you know that sperm works and makes babies, but you can't figure out that, like, it only works if you have a uterus. And, like, it's staring you right in the face and you just can't see it at all.
It's like...
You're so greenlit.
It was such an accident that it came up with that, because the next day it came with a new invention.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was
clay and pipe
classic
fingers.
Craig. It's so good. I love it. I
tried to set up that, like, this is like
It's
an
a very
already
recurring-
established universe, like
It was really good.
this character, like you already felt like you known him.
Yeah, everyone knows a Craig. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Going into this. What a great one. That was good.
Thank you.
This is so greenlit. I would watch that. I can't wait to see the poster for that one. It'll be it'll be
A
good.
petri dish, and it says coming soon.
Holy shit. All right, we have to make the movie now. Just for the poster. Holy shit. That was good. Well, Kane, I think that about does it. Do you have anything to promote on this episode of Critical
No.
Pitch? No? Nothing?
Nothing.
Not even anything in
Nope,
the
don't worry
works?
about it.
Okay. Project fell through?
Don't worry. No, I didn't. But don't worry about
But
it.
it's not in the works?
It's in the
nothing to
works.
comment.
Don't worry about it.
Don't comment it on in the moment? All right. Well, I just have to say, keep tuning in to Merrick's Month of Madness. We just dropped the second short. It's a noir thing going on. It's really cool. And it's fun. I use Venetian shades. It's black and white, and it's spooky. It's called Calling. And it's up right now. And all throughout October, there's going to be even more horror shorts. There's already Running and Calling are up right now. Stay tuned for the future of Merrick's Month of Madness this year. It's going to be it's going to be turkey based. It's going to be turkey based. Stay grill pilled. Stay bread pilled. Don't stay red pilled. Don't be red pilled. Keep fighting the good fight. Coronavirus cases are spiking up horribly again. Make sure to vote if you can and aren't having your ballots be dumped in the river or in an area with no accessible way to vote, and haven't been voter suppression. So if you can vote, try and vote. Unless you're voting for Trump, then kill yourself, I guess. I don't know what to say. This is a comedy
Yeah.
podcast, so you can't make me legally culpable for telling people to do that.
Yeah, it's all satire.
It's all satire, but do vote. Do vote. And we'll see you next week. Remember...